Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the United States of a Movie Podcast. We're the movie podcast that makes every Monday a fun day as we get together and we talk movies. But we have a point here at the United States of a Movie. We are trying to find one movie to define each state in these United States. We've already done one trip around the states. We're currently on our second, and this week we are stopping in the state of West Virginia. Things are going to be super cool. No, wait, super cold. Super cold is what it's going to be. It is West Virginia. Last time we had the champion of October Sky, but this week we had two really good movies. I can't wait to get into. They couldn't be more different, but both tippity top. Before we get there, though, let's welcome back my amazing movie-loving co-host, as always, in Arizona, Ryan Sana. Welcome back, buddy.
It's so great to be here in non-dark waters, maybe.
don't drink the water. I'll tell you that.
True, yeah.
And as always, sitting in the middle of his very own video store in Los Angeles, California, Will Hirsch, buddy. Welcome back to the show.
Great to be here. I've just been on the run for weeks in my little boat over a stream from a psycho killer.
See, he got the better one. He got the better movie than Andrew. He's fucking dark water. There's no what am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know, a montage of you looking at documents.
I just got back from licking my Teflon pan, and boy, is my fucking face melted. I don't know.
Yeah. That's there's the fucking line right there. You teed yourself up, dude. We'll re-rack it. Let's go again. You can be funny this time. It's going to be great. As you can kind of pick out, we've got movies. We've got one that features a serial killer from the 50s that ended up being like surprisingly really good.
Maybe one of the best looking films I've ever seen.
Yes, and I can't wait to talk about that, and dark as hell. And then the other one that we chose was kind of very Aaron Brockovich, David Fincher adjacent. Yeah. And a movie that made me very angry. And not because of the movie, but because of the story it told. Actually, Ryan, why don't you introduce this movie? It's one that, like, when you mentioned it, I remember seeing it when we talked about this last year, knew nothing about it, and now I just want to talk about it endlessly with everybody.
Yeah, this is such like a specific genre of like prestige-y type of award kind of movies, like your spotlights and things like that I would just normally never go out of my way to watch. But fuck, I'm so glad we picked Dark Waters, starring Mark Ruffalo and I guess Catwoman. Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway's kind of in this, I guess.
Yeah, Tim Robbins kind of in this. Bill Pullman rocks up for a little bit as well.
Doing a silly voice, I liked it.
Do you want to take a stab at the year, Ryan, just for fun?
2019.
You nailed it. Yes, you
did. I almost said 14.
Directed by Todd Haynes. Yeah, it's actually, like I said, when I say Aaron Brockovich, I mean that very seriously. It's a very similar story. It is a true story of, in this case, a lawyer played by the Hulk himself, Mark Ruffalo, that sort of accidentally falls into this sort of situation with DuPont, the very famous company in West Virginia, and the fact that they poisoned every single person listening or watching this right now, every single person in this podcast right now, in fact, 99% of the entire population of the world now has these forever chemicals inside our bodies, causing cancer because of this company. Yep. And the fact that I found out about this through this movie drives me up the fucking wall.
But on the plus side, food doesn't stick to our pans. So it's really kind of a trade-off. Like,
that's the reason that all like nonstick cookware now says like no PFOAs on it, or
right. I didn't realize. So it's genuinely the true story about, like, we've talked about it, capitalism with a capital C. It's a situation of where who needs the EPA? Companies can regulate themselves. Turns out not so much. Turns out if they can make billions of dollars, they don't mind if we all die. And it's you'd think it's like this open and shut story that it's not. It goes
the movie
way
opens
too long
with like, I think it was
like opens in the 70s, 75
with like a Jaws-esque opening sequence where these kids break into this lake, and I was like, oh cool, that's kind of fun, like the shots underwater and everything. And then you cut to the the
Late 90s.
the boat. No, the boat comes up
Oh
and is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, you get out of here, kids! You're not supposed to be here." And they're just dumping chemicals in this. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man! And then yeah, it cuts to the early
Mhm.
'90s, I think. Yeah, Oof.
Late 90s, and then this movie goes all the way up until like the
2015.
2010s and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um, really, really fucking good movie though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a movie I never want to watch again. Like,
Yeah, you don't.
You're
Unlike Erin Brockovich, which is a movie like Steven Soderbergh movie, Julia Roberts, Albert Finney. It tells a very similar story, but it's
a
for
little more lighthearted.
in a way, for want of a better word, fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like it's got this element of we are figuring it out. The fact that Erin Brockovich isn't a lawyer,
right.
and she's got this kind of fiery personality, whereas like Ruffalo, credit to him, really does embrace this character of a kind of awkward, quiet, hunched over, like he speaks real quiet. He doesn't really engage, but he's kind of like one of those tenacious people. Like once he gets the bit between his teeth, he refuses to drop it. But in this story, instead of like in Erin Brockovich, which is like it's a struggle, but things go right for her, and Ed Masry helps her out and gives her money, and in the end, she gets the satisfaction of helping these guys out, then getting the money, and then getting promoted. In this one, it almost breaks the guy,
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
kills the guy, almost ends his marriage, sacrifices him as being a dad. Kind of. So you watch it, just going, I mean, good for you, bro.
I know,
Thank God
because
for
even,
you.
even I was like, I don't know how this ends, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I knew it was going to end with like a title sequence where it says, and also like he did this, 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 and
Right.
this. It's like I knew that
I
was
was
coming.
worried. I was
Yeah.
worried for a second that it was like, and
But
no,
you-
he
but
died,
the-
and fuck all of you.
But the way this movie is shot, it's so tense. You think like in any other type of film like this, it would be like The Firm or something like that. It would be this like huge action blockbuster
Yep.
kind of wrapped up in this legal thriller. None of that really happens. I mean, you get the one scene with the feral cow, but like when he's walking to the car and he's like
Yes.
nervous to turn the key, you're like, fuck, dude.
You know
like,
what? It's interesting that in that moment, so yeah, there is a scene very, very late in the movie where, it's not necessarily spoilers, guys, but he's going up
a
against a
deposition
big,
scene. Yeah.
yeah, he's going up against a big company, and there's a moment it's very All the President's Men, in a way where he kind of gets to his car, and in that moment he's worried about turning the key, and it has this moment that I would honestly, and in the moment I was going, we don't need this scene. This movie doesn't need this scene. But then my reasoning is immediately pulled out from under me, is that because we go in, he does the deposition, we don't know where it is. And after that scene, it then pulls out and shows us DuPont headquarters. And I was like,
Yeah.
that was actually a really clever bit, because I was like, going, guys, why? And then he pull out and I go, oh, I get it. You're quite literally in the belly of the beast.
What you
at
don't
this time.
realize is that, his boss is Tim Robbins, who set that whole thing up to get him to go there to blow it up.
Arlington
Whoa.
Road.
Arlington Ruffaloed. That's
I
the
don't-
shirt.
I don't know if you guys caught it because I had rented the Blu-ray and it just started playing the special features after the movie,
Mm.
and the real guy and his wife are in the movie.
They showed that in the one I watched,
Yes.
like the end credits.
Okay, you did see that.
Yes,
Bucky's
yes.
real. Him and his wife are there, and
Yep.
There were 3 or 4 other major characters that were actually
Yeah.
they featured in the one with
the
Bucky.
guy's brother when he's in the diner, like
Yes.
I forget.
Yes,
That was a guy who I almost clocked it because the camera
I
lingered
clocked
on
him.
him, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"That's got to be one of the real
That's a
guys."
guy. And then it
Yeah.
was the same thing. So yeah, to bring you in, ladies and gents, if you haven't seen it, there are people that are affected by this, as you can imagine, major people whose lives are affected with this, or major people who are involved in the lawsuit or all this kind of stuff that actually are used as sort of background extras in scenes that it reveals it at the end of the movie. The most obvious one, though, being Bucky.
Sure.
Yeah.
The story of Bucky being the child of an employee of DuPont who was working on the line, the Teflon line, and the company, we have found out, knew that it was dangerous and causing deformities, but didn't tell anybody. And this child was born with like one nostril and kind of facial deformities. And then there's this moment in the movie where Ruffalo's character is pumping gas, and this guy is just like, "Hey, do you know what the score is?" "Oh, don't worry." Super friendly guy. But you can there's no, that's not special effects. That's not. And as soon as you see it, you go, wow, that's the real Bucky. Like they didn't need to
Yeah.
reveal that one in the credits. You go,
Yeah,
wow,
Or
they
you
got
at
the
least
real,
hoped it was
but
like, because
it's
I was like, oh, they didn't like
right?
I was
Yeah.
do
just
special
trying
effects for
to
this,
I was just
right?
trying to figure out though the timeline of that seemed like really stretched out to me because the
It's
photo
about
he
7 years
finds
after the fact.
the photo he finds looks like an old World War I black and white like or sepia tone photograph. I'm like that doesn't really make sense, but
It's a
it's
weird
not.
photo, but I mean,
Yeah,
the guy,
yeah,
it
it's
is the
definitely him.
guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you know,
Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, it would have been like it wouldn't have been a 90s picture. That was like
yeah.
the 70s and 80s
That's
picture
true.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Mhm.
true.
So I mean, just remember those pictures our parents have. So this was for all of us, right? This was all of us going in
Yeah,
pretty much
I knew
blind.
Yeah.
nothing about this. I was like, cool title, but
Yeah. And then I saw the cast and I'm like, okay, cool cast. I mean, I know we've already kind of been like been touching on it, but like, just give me kind of like, Will, I'm always fascinated on your reads on certain things. Every now and again you'll go, yeah, but and I don't necessarily disagree with your butts. I'm always interested in your butt, Will.
Yeah, I mean, but did DuPont do anything wrong? No, when you really think about
Is
it,
DuPont really the bad guy here?
come on. I think Mark Ruffalo is being a little unfair. This is his second anti-DuPont movie, so
Yeah,
and
I
you
think
said
it's
the
that.
guy's got a
yeah.
What
grudge.
is the other one?
Foxcatcher.
Oh, I
That's
never saw that one. I've heard
yeah,
great
that's
things.
where Steve Carell plays like the heir to the DuPont
Yes.
family.
Another true story.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
And
they
then
gotta hate Ruffalo.
and
Like
then he
this,
did Spotlight as well. He does a lot of these,
yes,
and he did Zodiac.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
He's
The
done all of
ultimate
these.
documents movie.
He's the
Wow.
king of this, like
Yeah.
this genre of movies. I thought this was a really good movie. I and it's funny that it's so recent too. Like
Right.
it feels like it's from another time in a good way.
That's why I said 2014.
Yeah, no, it feels like a movie we would have gotten definitely like back in the like early
Like a
90s,
Tom Cruise
2000s.
type of movie, right?
Yes. Yeah, and it made me kind of miss like adult thrillers about important issues like this, where I'm like, man, I kind of
They're just so
uh,
bleak though. I was just like, I just don't
yeah,
like
but
watching. Yeah. But I know what you're
uh
saying. I love movies like that, but I hate watching them.
yeah, there is that part where because of how big the issue is,
Yeah.
like they said, it literally has affected everyone you know. Like there's a part of that where it's like this is even if they win their court cases, it's only like yeah, DuPont's not going to notice.
Not
It's
yeah,
like
it
it's
really
just a
doesn't matter.
fine that they just
Yeah, I mean that's
didn't
one of the most
pay.
infuriating parts of the movie is where like it's $1 billion a year industry for them, and when they first get done in court, it's a $16 million fine.
It's just
And
nothing.
I wanted to throw
It's
something at the television. And it's like, I
it's
do like that bit where Mark Ruffalo goes, in the meeting he goes, that's, one day of profit,
yeah, yeah.
from the
You're,
line kind of
yeah, you're
thing.
not even going to notice it. It's one of those. I've heard this idea mentioned it in a few other places that the more you see stuff like this, the more I kind of agree with it. Which is there needs to be something like a corporate death penalty, where like when a
Yeah.
corporation does something like this, it's like yeah, the
Yeah.
company can't be allowed to exist
It's always just a
anymore.
slap. But the thing is, the whole point of this movie is it's a corporate titan.
Yeah,
It's got government in its pocket, local government in its pocket,
It's the whole
regulators.
town. The whole
Yeah.
town. I mean,
That scene. I mean, and I want to bring like because one of my like and my favorite characters in a way is the farmer who sort of initially brings this situation. And I was kind of like having a bit of a little crack up at myself, waiting for Will's impression of the guy because he kind of reminds me of like Rooster Cogburn. Like they just
oh, this
like
guy,
yeah,
the guy who
just
talks like this the whole movie.
he really does. Yeah, yeah.
but I loved like the way he was so like abrupt and direct with Mark Ruffalo in that opening scene in a way that was almost as kind of like I was almost kind of cringing and like feeling for Mark Ruffalo's character who was adorably awkward in this situation. But the longer and the longer and the longer that this character was around, one, I just, well, one, guys, he's not a character. He's a true
Right,
person.
right.
But like this guy's portrayal of him, I just started liking him more and more. And then I was so like emotionally invested in the where that goes and how it
And
goes that I was like,
and breadcrumbs how all of
very,
that is going to go down, which makes it so much more difficult because you do get
yeah,
attached to that character. Like it starts with
Yeah,
his land, then his cows, but then you see his entire family together and they're drinking the water, and you're like, God damn it! Like,
Oh, it's weird. Like
Ah,
right from the jump when you see like the girls on the bikes and you see them smile and the teeth are
And
stained
I
and
oh,
clocked it immediately.
oh
You know,
yeah.
the
see, I
girl
didn't
smiles.
until he had the realization. I
Yeah,
didn't
the
see it
girl
at
smiled,
first.
and I go, "Oh, I wonder if those are braces." And I just thought, what an interesting choice of character, or an interesting choice of actress, you know. And then the moment of he sees the cow teeth, and then he flashes back, and that's when I was like, "Oh
Oh, that's when
shit!"
I was like, I got to stop writing jokes for this one. I did the only one that I had because I'd started taking notes, but then I'd stopped and just like really enjoyed the movie. But like, because the movie opens with him in Cincinnati, and
I
then
was
he
so
goes,
worried for a minute.
then he
Yeah.
goes to West Virginia. I'm like, do you guys
Yeah.
think he took the devil's backbone to get there? Not him on rollerblades? Come on.
We can only hope.
I mean, that is something that I want to talk about actually, is that like the way this movie is shot. I mean, it's kind of shot in the non-black and white, black and white, if you know what I mean.
Very
It's
gray. Yeah.
it's
Very
like
gray and
the
blue.
blues, yes. It's, you know, similar in like in a way, like I was thinking about Heat, thinking about
Yeah.
Zodiac, the way that Zodiac's green.
I said I
You
thought
know?
I could have sworn Roger Deakins shot. It looks very prisoners like that. I
Yeah,
thought Roger
yeah.
Deakins like
Although
shot this.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, though I'd said the Deke is, oh my God, that guy can make anything look
It
incredible.
wasn't it wasn't quite as framing and like that's
Yeah.
why I didn't think it was that, but
But it was
But
still a
it's
great
when
looking film.
it's
yeah.
Ryan, when you said Fincher adjacent
Yeah, yeah,
was a very, very like, yes,
Mhm.
I totally got what you were saying on it. And I guess what I kind of wanted to get into is like, is something that you said, Ryan, is that you're only ever going to watch this movie once. And I agree with you. And it's like, but think about like Zodiac or the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Just both
You
feel
know,
good movies. Yeah.
well, they're not exactly, but I watch them, you know, because
Mhm.
you watch them and you just go, wow, this movie had the story had me engaged.
I think
But
it's too real because like that this is a
yeah,
real thing that we are still
Yeah.
all suffering through. So to relive that, like this was an awakening moment for me watching this. I'm like, fuck, I use like a non-stick skillet or I used to, but now I cook everything over an open flame of 300 burning cigarettes for every meal.
Yeah.
I go such a dick.
This is God's country.
Oh man, swear to God, where do you pull this shit from?
I wrote it down.
So good. Jesus Christ. But no, but seriously though, like that's the thing of you know, I really want to rewatch Spotlight. Because I watched it once and my missus has never seen it and she's always said she wants to see it. And I remember it being
Or
really
this is another one.
fucking
The
good.
paper, is that another one? That
I've only seen that
right?
once. That's but I was that
Or
came out the same year. The Post, I think, is what you're trying
the
to say.
that's right.
The
That's right.
post, yeah.
Which came out the same year as the other Spielberg, the Berlin Wall one, the
Oh,
one
Bridge of Spies.
which is
It's
so
awesome.
good, and it
Yeah.
kind of touches on like this thing that it's you know it's the thing that Patrick H. Williams, you were saying, I actually just watched 2 nights ago him talking about this movie, the documents movie thing. But
Mhm.
it's he quoted some guy that invented the term, which is something that I love, which is competence porn.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that is, I watch
Yeah.
movies and documentaries of driven people doing something amazing and
That they're
and
really good at fucking doing. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
affecting the world, and it makes me cry every time. And I'm not like not boo-hoo cry going, maybe the world doesn't suck
Mhm.
because people like this exist.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Bridge of Spies, it is
Mm.
one of my absolute favorite movies. I watch it to feel good. And it's kind of in the same way that talking about like Zodiac and talking about Dragon Tattoo is that there's this element of like I love Elizabeth Salander and her drive and her just no, and also her sort of like Jack Reacher-esque level of can I kill this motherfucker now? I love it.
Mhm.
This movie, it doesn't have it. I'm not
Right.
criticizing the movie, but I think that's why Ryan is like, oh, this is a one and done. This is
Yeah.
watch it to see how good it is, watch it especially to learn the story, but you're never gonna go, hey, you guys want to watch Dark Waters?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, you
Right.
know, because Ryan's
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to see someone get sawed in half upside down? You know, vagina
I don't know why
first.
you
You
keep
know?
bringing that one
Because you did it
scene
to
up.
us, man. You made us watch Terrifier. But the thing is, you do watch that movie.
Teflon does more horrifying things in this film than Art the Clown himself has ever done.
Right, but you are never going to show someone the Teflon movie, are you?
Nah,
That's kind of, and see, that's kind of like
it's
that
not
thing.
funny.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Just wait till the next Terrifier where Art brings out a Teflon
If he's
pan.
gonna, this is it.
Oh,
He's just
my-
gonna, he's gonna be
oh,
sponsored
my
by
God.
DuPont. He's gonna have
That's
like a DuPont
You
logo.
finally turned me off of the series. That's what it is.
Art's gone too far this time.
But so it's like, yeah. It's, I mean, guys, do you agree with me? Do you see?
I
it's like,
absolutely do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have the juice. There's Todd Hayes. He's a good director, but uh, even as I was watching this movie, I'm like, there's some things way he's shooting it, the way he's framing some shots, the energy level, like kind of throughout the movie. I'm like, it's just missing the punch of somebody like a Soderbergh, like Spielberg,
You're right.
like Fincher. It's missing the punch those guys bring to movies.
Mm-hmm.
And for something as massive as this story is, it needed that kind of, a little bit sensationalized, not to distort the actual events, but
Yeah, I
to
get what
really
you
hit
mean.
home like how important this is.
I think maybe if it had a catchier title too, like "Don't Pont." I don't know.
It's such a
Oh
dick.
God.
Well,
I mean, but Dark Waters is like, I was confused when we picked it at first because I was like, isn't that the
Shark-
movie about
Shark movie?
Yeah.
No, there's a movie, I think it stars Katie Holmes, about like a gal who is in a hotel and there's a body in like a water tank and her body's dissolved into the water. Also based on a true
Dawson's
story.
Creek.
Yeah, Dawson's Creek. There we go. No, but that one is also called Dark Water. So when we picked this, I'm
Oh.
like, the horror movie?
The
Katie
Guillermo
Holmes
del
horror
Toro movie where the lady fucks a fish? That one?
Wait, no. This is
Yes.
this is the James Cameron
Shape
sequel.
of Water.
This is Dark Waters.
movie?
With the dollar
the
sign.
But
But no, I'd say that I think I totally agree with you. Like Will is the that elevated showiness of Spielberg, Soderbergh,
Yeah.
of Fincher isn't
A little
there,
more
but
a little more prestige. Just a little
but
bit.
it's Mark Ruffalo.
He,
Mark
he's,
Ruffalo. I
Yeah.
watched this movie for Ruff. I just because I've seen him be goofy in Thor 3, and I've seen him do rom-com in 13 going on 30. I've seen him play this great dad moment in the fucking Adam Project, which is just, a Netflix movie but that moment where he's being a dad to his two sons fucking makes me cry. I've seen him be the tenacious. This Mark Ruffalo is underrated in a lot of ways, and seeing him in this movie really, he's not playing Mark Ruffalo. That's the cool thing about someone like Ruffalo, because you've got people like, like Ryan Reynolds. It's like, love him or hate him, he's Ryan Reynolds in every movie. Like last night, I just looking for something disposable. Mrs. was half asleep on the sofa next to me, and I put
Green
on
Lantern.
right, but I put on Hobbs and Shaw, and Ryan Reynolds
yeah.
walks up in that movie, and Zen
As
was just
himself,
like,
basically.
yeah, and she
Yeah.
goes, he's just Deadpooling, and I go, that's why he's perfect for Deadpool, but honestly not great for most
Yeah.
other movies.
right.
And Ruffalo in this movie, like I said, he's moving different. He's standing different. His face is
Oh,
different.
yeah.
Like
when
it's
when he starts to get the shake in his hand, that's when I
shakes,
was like,
yeah.
God damn it! Where don't?
Yeah.
I'm
so
already, like-
worried.
I'm like, don't do that. Don't,
Yeah. I will say though,
don't give me hope.
like he's good. I think all the acting is good, but there are a couple other things like, I was surprised Anne Hathaway was in this
She
because
is so
there's
useless
not
in this movie.
They didn't give her
Yeah, there's-
anything to do.
No.
nothing for her.
No,
And
I liked
her-
Tim Robbins.
yeah, and her
Yeah.
character is literally just the wife who's
Yeah,
upset all the time. And I'm
she's
like,
not given
come on.
anything to do, and and she's so we've seen when she can be amazing, and I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think it was a really wasted. It's a wasted character.
Even like her heavy hitting like monologue towards the end, where she's like, you're devoted to this career,
the
it's taking your whole life.
sacrifice.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
felt a little hammy to me.
Like, and I'd also say Bill Pullman's wasted. He's barely in it. Like I like because
He's fun because he's kind of like that charming Southern lawyer. Like he's
Right.
like one step away from being like, now see here, Your
like I was
Honor. Like
like
he's
your favorite
almost
thing.
there.
If he
Yes.
was wearing suspenders and
Oh my
sweaty,
God.
And
Amazing.
was a beaver,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. See, now we're talking.
That's got to be the best one.
Yeah.
yeah, the best of them all. But
Absolutely.
like I did like I was Tim Robbins got his moment. His moment for me is when he was sitting in the room full of the partners and just going, he just
Yeah.
bangs the fucking table. He goes, no, it's
Yeah.
not about us. It's about fuck these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
He yelling
you're
at
always-
Chidi from The Good Place.
which
Yeah,
is a
I was
very
saying cheating.
yes,
Yeah,
yelling at you. I would have been great if it was like, I don't know.
He just goes right into it. Yeah.
Like I would say, I mean, this is the one of those things that we talk about is the whole would you recommend this one? I think it's a yes, but
Yeah.
it's you're gonna be done after the first time.
You got to be in the right headspace to watch this one. Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
or forced to for a podcast.
Right.
yeah, well,
but I'm really glad we did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's honestly going to be one of those ones because that I'm going to use as
it's a movie
Just
I'll
a-
never forget. But
it's a cautionary tale. It's a
Yeah.
cautionary tale of when people are like, oh, you don't need regulation. And it's, I often talk about this thing is you can't trust things that make money because if their only concern is making money, they don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about their employees. They don't give a shit about anybody because they're going to go sit on their yacht full of money, on their bed made of money, surrounded by many beautiful ladies.
I mean, for me, like just goes back to like I use movies as like a form of escapism. I'm sure like we all do, and this was almost like watching a documentary in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
not really
it's like-
escaping. It's just
No,
more like,
it's-
here's what's going on right now. And
Yeah,
you're like,
it's just the reality
it's okay.
fucking jizzing
Yeah.
in your face. I don't like that.
Yeah. But like with Teflon. But you're not wrong. I mean, like, especially from 2020 to like 2023, my entire sort of like consumption of media was escapism. With COVID and everything else, I remember one of my
yeah.
favorite movies that I'm gonna rewatch soon.
Battleship.
But it's Battleship. Yeah, it just hits too close. It's Children of Men,
Oh God,
yeah.
yeah.
which is one of my just
it is
incredible-
really funny. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
yeah. But like,
a knee slapper.
but then I put it on in late 2020 to watch, and I turned it off 10 minutes in because I'm like, wow, no, this is way too close to home.
Mhm.
It's just this is not what I need to see or what I need to see. And I'm like, you know what I want to watch? Fucking Battleship. And I'm going to start drinking at 3 p.m. kind of shit. But like,
It's what I did yesterday.
but I'm getting back to this point of being open to, no, let's
It's
explore this. Let the world, let's
It
not
is
do
hard,
it. Let's-
like-
the world still fucking sucks. But like I'm sort of again embracing the fact that it's important to watch some of these movies. It's important to talk about some of these
Yeah.
movies, and that's what it's why we are here, guys. It's
Yeah.
why Will, you have 1,000 Blu-rays sitting behind you. It's why Ryan, you and I bonded the second we met because of all the posters on your wall, because movies are more than just movies, and sometimes they can be a part of a bigger conversation. I think this is why I say watch Dark Waters.
I definitely
Yeah.
think I definitely recommend this movie. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's a testament to like movies are so funny. Like, it all comes down to like the headspace you're in at that moment when you watch a movie. That's why like, you thumb through fucking every one of your streamers through countless covers and you can't decide. So you just like land on something comfortable you've seen before.
Yep.
It's so hard to discover something new. That's why I love that we do this, because it really
Exactly.
forces you to like really get out of your comfort zone and watch something you would normally never watch.
You take the thinking. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I've told you guys, I've been paralyzed. I look at my watch going, oh, I've got 2 hours. I can watch any sub 2 hour movie right now. And then I spend 90 minutes trying to pick a movie and I can't. Whereas like it was like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, shit, this Zoom's been pushed. My meeting's been pushed. Kids aren't here.
Gotta
I
do
don't
my
have to-
homework.
Yeah, and I was like, time to watch like the other movie that with Night of
Yeah.
Night of the Hunter, and I was just like, poof. sucked in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try and do that too because we typically we try and record on Thursdays and then like okay at least we have the weekend but those weekends can get away from you. I'm like okay I can watch this movie on this day and this movie on this day and then your day goes on you go to sit down and you're like I'm really just not in the mood to
Mm.
watch this like
Right.
like
Yeah. It's it happens to me a lot. That's why, I think I've talked about this before. I really like that now I'm doing like the treadmill and then I put on a movie.
sure.
That's really helped where I'm like, okay, I can kind of multitask in a way. And it's kind of helped me get over that hump of being like, all right, let's watch Mark Ruffalo look at some documents while I'm,
Let's watch
Well,
this
actually,
sad cancer movie. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I do the same thing like in the gym when I'm listening
Mhm.
to like other podcasts, but this one as well. That when I'm trying to find clips to use for our show for promos and stuff,
Mhm.
I'm on the elliptical for like
Yeah.
45 minutes. I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. This is gonna work. Honestly, this is kind of like perfect timing because, like I was saying, the other day I just had this little window in my day, and I sat down at like 2 in the afternoon and I watched the other movie that we have on our list, a movie I'd never heard of in my entire life, The Night of the Hunter from 1955. And I just didn't know what to expect.
It's
I mean,
another movie I would never in a million years just
never,
watch on a
ever, ever,
willy-nilly.
ever, 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 ever. And it's like, it's honestly, ever since right from almost the beginning of this podcast, since we did Giant, when we did Texas,
Been downhill ever since.
is that I'm always, always surprised at just the quality and depth and darkness sometimes of movies from this period, because in my mind, when I think of movies from the 50s or the black and white, I'm always just assuming Leave It to Beaver. Now I know that's a TV show, but it's the element of everything, the world's great. You know what I mean? Like that people didn't invent satire and sarcasm until the 80s, that didn't invent nuance or criticism of the world or religion or everything else. Bang this movie on, and Robert Mitchum, man, yeah, dude, what a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like,
This was an interesting one. I've been meaning to watch this for a long time. I bought it on 4K just because it
Yeah,
got a
I
4K.
remember you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, it just got a 4K
And
release,
it's
and I
supposed to
will.
be like one of the greatest 4K releases ever.
Oh, it looks really good. Like it looks amazing. But I'll do that from time to time. I'll buy like when they were to say like, "Hey, this movie's coming out." Sometimes I'll just pick it up even though I haven't seen it because
I
I
just
don't.
saw your TikTok, by the way, the 45 movies in your collection that you
Yeah,
own,
it
never
turns out I've
seen.
done it a few
Are you just
times.
hoping we pick one of them for the podcast?
One day. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I have 1,000+ titles, so 45 out of that isn't too bad, but it's way more than I thought.
Oh, I'm definitely jealous, buddy. I was
Yeah.
actually running. I was going, has he ever calculated? There's a scene in Sex and the City where someone steals Carrie
on.
Bradford's shoes. I'm doing it. Steals Carrie Bradford's shoes from like a party, at a kid's party. And then it's a situation where somebody like runs the numbers. She's got however many thousand pairs of shoes and they all cost this amount of money. And she goes, that's a house. How much does a Blu-ray cost?
I mean,
35 bucks.
average about $20.
Okay,
Average.
you've got 20.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
I'm so like, dude, you're fine. You don't have children. I've got $250,000 worth of DNA sitting out there, so don't you worry
Well, so
about
do
it.
I, but it's something
you,
else.
Are you? God. Are you?
It's
Are
a completely
you-
different matter.
Are you just waiting for one of your roommates to move out so you can knock a wall down and just?
Just hoping.
The actual
just praying.
honestly, I want Will to open the final blockbuster. You know what I mean? It's like that's
Ooh,
the
there we
way to
go.
do it.
I mean, I won't be opening it to the public. My dream, and Michael, I know you're listening. Like our dream for a while has been we reopen our Hollywood Video and we don't let anybody in. We go back to our old jobs and we just don't let in any customers.
And you play hockey on the roof?
Yeah.
I was about to say that'll be a
It's
fun
just,
movie.
we do our exact jobs from 20 years ago, but No customers are allowed in.
So something I just want to pick up on is that, Will, you'd never seen this movie before? I assume. Oh
No.
shit! Because I thought this was one of your. Oh, let me show
I
the guys a
sure
dusty
thought too,
movie.
but then I remember you said you had literally just bought it like the week before or something.
Yeah, I bought it
Wow.
not too long ago. I'm familiar with the director, and this is the only movie he ever directed, Charles Laughton. Who's an
Yeah.
actor.
Hmm.
He's in one of my favorite old courtroom movies, Witness for the Prosecution. It's a Billy Wilder film. He's fantastic in it. But he's in a bunch of movies. He's one of those guys when you see him, you're like, oh, if you watch old movies, you're like, I've seen this dude and stuff. So he's a wonderful actor. But this is the only movie he directed, and this movie flopped hard. Like
I was
this
so
ended,
surprised when I saw that.
Yeah.
yeah, this ended, and I guess maybe you guys can tell me. Apparently, Robert Mitchum was a real smoke show back in the day. He was considered like a Hollywood heartthrob. He looks kind of like a doughy guy to me. I don't see it, but
I wouldn't say doughy. He does have a really weird face.
yeah,
You know,
like
he's got
The
it's kind of
eyes,
pointed. He's got these like very tired eyes, but he's got this incredible voice,
yes,
an incredible bit of presence, and like he's just like he's really honestly like this is what I mean. Is like I was saying during sort of the intro for the movie. Is this is a movie in the 50s,
yeah.
and it's a movie about a guy weaponizing Christianity and
Oh
misogyny.
God, yeah. This
And I'm
also
just like,
felt like, oh
And just how
what?
quickly everyone falls for it. Like the moment he
Yeah.
starts quoting scripture, they're like, "Oh, well, he's obviously a
Oh,
nice
it's
guy."
good that would never happen. Yeah.
this is the thing is, right? I would expect this in 2025. I'd expect this in 1985, but I didn't expect in 55 in a very what I would have imagined wasn't around at the time. Spoiler alert, but pearl clutchingly, you know, post World War II, leave it to Beaver, go to work if you're a woman, a man, you know, no. No, it's
Yeah,
really fucking going after you are blinded by someone quoting scripture at you. You are blinded. Like the whole progression of the character of the mother, the wife and mother. Yeah,
which
dark as shit.
Well, first of
yeah,
all, like we at the like this movie opens with like a "It's a Wonderful Life" type of scene with like four children
that was
floating
bizarre.
Go
heads.
here playing hide and seek. I love that shot. That's an actual like a helicopter shot in 55.
No, it's like
No,
before
but
that, right before
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the floating heads.
they're in
Yeah, I
the
was like,
stars. Yeah, like
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me until the end of the movie.
But yeah,
Like
the
I honestly forgot about it until it started happening.
But no, the kid's playing hide and seek, and then you're like, "Oh, cool, dead body." You're like, "What? Who the fuck is this?" And then it cuts to him in the car. He's like, "Good boy, Lord, I sure do love killing women.
I do love killing like
Tell me,
whores.
Lord, is there more women for me to kill?"
Yeah, but and guys,
unfortunately, there is.
yeah. So, and if you think that Ryan is doing a bit right now, he's
No.
actually almost doing a perfect impersonation of Robert Mitchum, just going, "Oh Lord, oh, there's so many more of these ladies
With
I gotta kill."
the rear projection in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was an
It wasn't-
interesting
yeah.
juxtaposition from the helicopter shot to rear projection to helicopter, and fine, this is old Hollywood.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
appreciating those shots, those helicopter shots. But this movie, okay, is like people at home. It's very, very grown up, and it tells the story of a serial killer who loves to kill women because he hates women who use their sexuality in any way to influence men, and he's killed dozens of them, like 25 women. Now, in this situation, very quickly at the beginning in the movie, he gets busted. He dresses as a preacher. He uses and weaponizes the word of God to manipulate people and uses it as an excuse to kill. He gets locked up for 30 days for stealing a car. They just get him for the stolen car that he's got. Cut to, and I didn't know this,
Peter
I didn't
Graves.
We're talking smoke shows. Oh my
I
God.
didn't clock because I was too distracted by how handsome this young man was. But Peter Graves from Airplane,
Most
Family
people
Values.
Airplane.
but from
Yeah,
Mission,
and
Mission,
Adam's Family Values.
Mission Impossible as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The TV show.
Oh, we know him these days
He
from
he gets he gets everyone knows him from Airplane. You ever watch
Yeah.
like grown men wrestle?
Ever been to
Yeah.
a Turkish prison? Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
honestly, when you guys said that, I couldn't believe it. But cut to he's just robbed a bank. It's this movie does not wait around.
No,
Here's
no.
a serial killer in the first 5 seconds, and then 2 minutes later, here's a guy that's just robbed a bank. He's bleeding, and he comes in with $10,000 and tells his two children, like I'd say a 7-year-old boy and a 4 or 3-year-old girl, don't say anything. He gets arrested, ends up in jail at the same time in the same cell as serial killer.
It's a small town.
Right. And he's honestly, so
90s.
serial killer is only in jail for 30 days. And bank robber murderer gets executed within the month. There's no appeal on that
By
one.
hanging, right?
Yeah, he gets hung. And then we'll get back to that. But essentially the plot of it is that serial killer realizes that this guy's got 10 grand hidden with his
Oh,
family.
because he's talking in his sleep, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he tries to ingratiate himself, which he does, with the community, with the family, so he can find out from the children where this money is. I figured it was going to be sort of this movie for the whole movie. It very quickly becomes actually pretty dark and scary. Only the first act is that movie. Then it's the kids Huckleberry Finn style on the run movie. Then it's a whole other movie with this other character that I absolutely adore.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I guess it's just this is that point that I'm trying to make is that Will, you've bought all of these movies. I can't remember the one with the news reporter in New Mexico and the mine.
Superman 3.
That's
Oh,
the one.
Ace in the
Ace
Hole.
in the Hole.
Oh, Ace in the Hole, yes.
And Giant and all of these movies that you've brought. This one,
This was 2 years after Giant, right? Because
it's around the same time. Let me.
Yeah,
I'll look
I
it
think
up.
Giant was 53 and this was 55.
This was
I think
55.
so, yeah.
Giant was 56. It's the year before Giant.
This is
Which
the year
is
before
that's
Giant.
crazy, actually.
Then there's no reason that boy in Shane was such a fucking Giant. No, I'm sorry, I meant Shane. I'm so
there
sorry.
you go.
Shane, I think, was before
53. You're correct. Yes.
Because I was like, well, these kids are like, well, the boy is like really good in this movie. The girl,
Oh my God.
He
I
never
was
acted
saying
again, so
I joked with Ryan. Yeah, this is the movie of this really, really brave young boy who survives despite the best efforts of his stupid sister.
oh my god.
God, he's like, you're fucking killing me, Pearl.
Shut the fuck up, Pearl!
Also, I don't know, did you guys also clock that Pearl like drops out of the movie after a certain point? Like
when they escape
The
and
one
run
lady's
to like
house.
uncle's like fishing.
Cooper.
They run.
No,
to
when they
this
get to
thing.
Mrs. Cooper.
Mrs. Cooper,
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
stops because at that point she's not relevant. What I mean is
His
like
burden,
yeah.
yeah.
he is the only one holding shit together.
Yeah.
And she is the one that's that could be the thing. Once we get to Mrs. Cooper, you've now got a strong character,
Right.
and you've got the sisters, that can protect him. So she's less of a liability. So it's not like
Right.
the reason she drops out is that she's now protected by someone else, by another adult kind of thing. So I can see that.
Yeah. I also think the little kid, the actor, is not I don't think she's in that last scene at all. I'm not even joking. Like I was like looking at all the other like
Well, she
all
dropped.
the other
Once she
girls.
drops the doll, who cares?
Yeah. I was looking at all the other kids and I'm like, none of them are the Pearl actor.
Right.
I think they were just like, she sucks. Just get her off set. Like she's so
Yeah, it was the
bad.
bit where I think we'll get into it, but like they lure him into the basement, which is a pretty funny thing. But again, I can't stress how gorgeous this movie is. Like
Yeah.
the shot of the basement, like the light streaks, it's a stunning film. But they trick him into the basement and they run up to get like close the door, run to drunk uncle's fishing hut, and Pearl just runs into the bed, lays down, she's just out cold.
Right.
But that was a great fake out because I assumed that drunk uncle was going to be the savior.
Too
And
drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but why? And the reason why
Because it's fucking
Is-
cool as shit.
one of the I couldn't
Oh yeah.
believe how incredible this shot was.
But we're
The
not even
shot
there.
was
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're gonna get there. So what I mean is so like I said, this situation comes together that is way darker than anything we were expecting from a 55 movie. Like I said, we got this serial killer. Now he's ingratiating himself into the local society. He's very quickly, within days, the widow is like, he wants to marry her. She wants to marry him. The whole sort of like the local society is like, oh, well, he's a preacher and he's wonderful and he's
You're no
handsome.
spring chicken.
Yeah, you're like
I'm
24
sorry your
years
husband.
old.
I'm sorry your husband was hanged 2 days ago, but come
You should
on.
marry this guy.
Yeah.
She immediately gets married to him. She tries to get laid, and he goes, go look in the mirror, whore. Like he's got a real hatred of women. This character.
He's real incel energy.
Yeah, massive.
Going
He's
off this
like,
guy.
Well,
Yeah,
at
but
the beginning, he's watching like a burlesque show, and he's got love on one hand and hate
hate on the
tattooed on the
other.
other, but he's got a switchblade in his pocket, and he's just watching the show. He's like, I'm gonna kill so good.
Yeah, I just
Yes,
can't wait to
like-
get a good stabbing going.
He's as
That-
horny for killing as Mrs. Spoon is for fudge.
God. Man, that
Oh,
is saying
slut. And
is
she was
horny
horny
for
for him
fudge.
too. She was.
Yeah.
He loved it. But like,
Um,
yeah, it just becomes this actually really, really good, tense sort of thriller of this serial killer stalker trying to manipulate or then kill these children to get the money.
Yeah.
And like, so he ingratiates himself with the mother, quickly manipulates her into a way of like, in a way she goes, make me clean so he can love me because of the sins that I'm carrying.
Yeah.
She's in a way proselytizing with him at
She
one
becomes
point.
like evangelical. Like,
Yeah, really messed
Yeah.
up scene. And then when she's sort of exposed to him and what he's doing and realizing her children aren't lying to her, it's such a theatrical moment where he even just like it's on stage with the way he comes at her with the knife and the stream of light. And I was like, and then wait, she's dead? Like, guys, I'm like,
That was so
Yeah.
shocking to me. Like, I did not expect, because she's like Psycho. Her name is like second build.
Yeah.
Like,
Shelley-
she's the
Shelley
star of the
Winters?
movie. Shelley Winters, yeah. And then, yeah, like halfway through the movie, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, she's dead now.
so that's
And-
Peter Graves gone, Shelley Winters gone.
right. And then
Shocking.
we get the shot of it's just
I was trying to like, how,
stunning.
unless they actually drowned a woman, how did they shoot this scene?
like it's a really
When
incredible.
did Shelley Winters die? Let me
Yeah. Did she trip onto a knife across her neck? But in there,
The
it's
shot
there.
in the water, it's
Yeah, there is an
Yeah.
underwater shot, ladies and gents. An underwater shot that's got like seaweed or like whatever. I mean, like you said, it's astounding. It's astounding. And I was like, 1955. I was like, good Lord, I don't know anything about movies. You know what?
hold my Hitchcock.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's ethereal, it's scary, it's beautiful, it's messed up.
Mhm.
And you're just like, oh, and that's when I was like, I don't know where this movie is going.
Yeah.
It gave me pause, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
right. One
Yeah.
of these. And how she's discovered it's the
Yeah.
uncle on the fishing boat. Oh, I mean, you see that shot first, like from the side profile of like the car with her in it, and her hair and the seaweed. It's unbelievable. And then it cuts the uncle on the boat trying to pull the fishing thing in, and he just like does the peer in. The water's crystal clear, and he's like, oh,
Yeah, and then, so what did you assume?
and wait,
Oh,
and they
he's
were
going to go to the
calling
cops.
him uncle, but like that's not his daughter.
No, it's in
No.
the same way that in
Okay,
Asia,
okay.
everybody calls, uncles just a sort of like a
Got it.
form of respect for someone
Sure.
older than you, uncle and auntie. But I then go, oh, he's going to go to the cops, and it's going to become this other thing. Nope. He's like, he spirals about they're going to blame me. Suddenly, he's not useful.
Was that also how his wife died? Like,
right?
because he
Right.
does not
But
take it well.
But he spirals, and then he's useless to the children, and then the children go on the run. And that's when I was just like, holy shit. And it was really ramping up the tension for me. I mean, there is one shot that is maybe one of the shots of the movie that Ryan, I thought you were joking about. I thought you were being facetious because I was looking at going, what a shot. I was wondering how they did it. I go, is it in a studio? Is it not? How do they do it? That lighting is amazing. But basically, ladies and gents, there's a foreground of our little kids have snuck into like
A barn.
a barn for the night.
Yeah.
But there's this, like I said, this constant stalker that's trying to find them as they float down the river.
Who
In this
loves
case,
whistling?
yeah, he's stolen a horse and he's singing, and it's him in the distance on the horizon. And Ryan, what did you text us?
Oh, I it was a dwarf person on a pony, like on a very small horse in
And I was
forced
like,
perspective.
yeah, and I'm like, Ryan, stop being such a dick. And then
It
I was
does
like,
sound like something I would make up.
it's a very Ryan thing to say. And I was like,
I say
oh,
it constantly.
I was like, oh shit. It
Yeah.
turns out you're 100% right.
Yeah.
And I think because he's got such an iconic silhouette
And you
because
have
the
like
way
this,
the
this
hat.
the stages of the moon,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
gorgeous, gorgeous.
Oh, just
Even
brilliant.
even before that, when they're on the river, which is very clearly in a studio because they kept
Yeah.
recycling the same shot. They just put different animals in the foreground. There's like
Hmm.
bunnies and turtles and you know,
Yeah.
but it still
But
looked incredible.
but even then that's like, the whole like the cruelty of the world was there's so much nuance to this, and the fact that this movie's flopped and that the Charles Laughlin only directed like this one movie, and he honestly like because it didn't work, he's like I much preferred sort of directing the theater, but it's so theatrical
Oh yeah, Robert
in its
Mitchum in it
presence.
is when he's chasing after the boy, like the kids on the boat, and he's wading through the mud, and he's just screaming like, "Rah!"
Yeah, but I
Very
don't
like,
just mean in Mitchum's approach, but I mean in its framing
oh yeah,
and its presentation and its lighting. And it's like let's go all the way back to like season one Vegas, where we're talking about Scorsese and the way that Scorsese will get theatrical, of like will just suddenly light will go and it's a spotlight on somebody,
yeah.
or like it's you see that sort of influence. And I just in this particular case,
It's as
I w-
noir as it gets in such like a
yeah,
Yeah.
country setting, you know?
just
Like when
Loveland.
they
I would.
another one that I love when the kids pull up to the land on the boat before they get into the farm. It's like you see the barn on the right and it's the house on the left, and you hear the woman singing, and there's the bird in the cage, and it's shot through the window, and it's all like the silhouette of it. It's a striking film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great,
One
and
could say every frame is a painting.
it's like even Mitchum was the one like it's interesting. So I was doing a little bit of a read up on Mitchum, and it's interesting about like he kind of pissed off a lot of actors
Hmm.
because he's just like, what? I just you turn up, you read the lines, you get paid. What the fuck do you want me to say? And it's like I really like. He goes, interestingly, it turns out he had a photographic memory, so he could just read
Oh wow.
any script and remember it, and just apparently just fart out the lines kind of thing. But he wasn't. I mean, I it wasn't. He is an effortless actor, and I know I enjoy that about
Hmm.
him, and I understand why there's certain people that take the acting super seriously. Don't get me wrong, Daniel Day-Lewis, go for it. The people that go really really deep into it, but it's his approach of just being kind of like about
I,
it. But like Laughlin was like, but Mitchum said that Laughlin was his favorite director, and indicate like he said that this is one of his favorite movies he ever did.
well, it's
And it's
so
like,
different than his normal movies. Like he's not like because I'm not the biggest Robert Mitchum fan. I've seen a lot of his like westerns and other films. He's not one of my go-to guys. Like honestly, the idea of where he's just like, yeah, just read the lines and say it. I'm like, well, that tracks. This seems like the only time he was ever like given a role where he had to like act, and it's so different from what he normally did that I think it really worked. Because yeah, he's to me, I'm like he's just kind of like another guy in the 1950s. Not really one of my. Yeah, I can't
He
think of really
he's
anything
no
that
Peter
stand out.
Graves.
He's no
well,
Peter
here you go. Look,
Graves.
off the
Not about
back of that, I
everything.
got another Lofton quote about Mitchum here, and he says, "All this tough talk about Mitchum is blind. He's a literate, gracious, kind man with wonderful manners, and he speaks beautifully when he wants to. He's a tender man, a very great gentleman. He's really terribly shy." I think it's fascinating. Like I said, this
Hmm.
is because the interesting thing about this is kind of like, we talked about this, Will, when we had Adam Tinius on the show. We talked about John Wayne and
Hmm.
John Wayne's on-screen persona and off-screen persona, and you're very vociferous,
Hmm.
and you like to talk about John Wayne's off sort of screen persona, and it's kind of like it's almost like the opposite here in this case with
Yes.
Right.
Mitchum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, very much. I've don't remember hearing a whole lot of like, oh, Mitchum sucked in real life. No, he seemed like he was a very lovely guy. When I'm criticizing him, it's just more like just as an actor where I'm like, he doesn't do it for me. But
He did it for me in this movie, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although there were a couple times where he's like screaming where I'm like, is this where
Well,
A
the
lot of
guy who
choices.
does
Yeah.
Goofy's voice gets
no,
Goofy scream from?
well,
Because he almost
okay,
does the yeah, like
yeah, and
a couple times.
that's not a Mitchum. That's in
Yeah.
what I'm going to say is, yeah, I know exactly the scene you're talking about, and they loop it 4 times.
Yes.
But that's Foley
Is that when
artist or sound mixer.
when
You
they
can't put that on the
is that when they
actor.
No.
smash his hand in the door?
No, that's when they shot him with a shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which
And he
is
goes,
Yeah.
and he goes,
yeah.
and then it's the same thing, looped, 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 and looped.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it's kind of like saying Mitchum sucks because the Wilhelm scream was,
Right,
like,
Yeah,
that's-
no, it's probably not his fault, but it did take me out of
It
the
was
I was
me
almost
too.
like,
That is the biggest weakness of this movie is that
Yeah.
moment because I go, I'm supposed to be like, this is weird, and I go, that is hilarious.
that's, by that point in the movie, though, that is where it's like, for me anyway, the movie starts not going off the rails, but getting really weird. Like just in terms of the filmmaking.
Well, there's already a
where-
huge tonal shift. Like once
Yes.
they,
Yeah.
once they're
Well, that's what I mean. It's a 3-act movie that is 3 movies.
right.
You've got the kind of trapped in the house movie, the Huckleberry Finn movie, and then like what's the well you were like it's a beautiful
And Wonderful
It's
Life.
it's a Wonderful Life. Yeah,
the It's a
almost.
Wonderful Life kind of like
It
one of
becomes
the-
Frankenstein for like
Yeah.
2 minutes, and
Yeah.
then becomes It's a Wonderful Life, and I'm just like, what's happening? And because this movie is so rapid fire, it's 90 minutes.
so much gets into
Yeah.
that 90 minutes. You could have told me
Yeah.
that was a 3-hour movie, like it, but didn't
Right.
feel long.
No, it's paced super well too.
So much
Yeah.
is in that movie.
Yeah, but it's weird. We might be jumping ahead, but they go to this Mrs. Cooper's house, who is the first like competent adult
Yeah, I
that
love her. Great.
She's
character.
fantastic, and it made me really happy when it's like the eldest girl,
Ruby.
Ruby.
where she
Stupid horny Ruby.
stupid
Yeah.
horny Ruby. But I love that Mrs. Cooper is not shaming her for it. She's just
Yeah.
like, look, I
Ugh.
get it.
Yeah.
You're at that age. We'll make sure that you'll turn out fine. You're not in trouble. You're not a bad person.
Yeah, like she's
I'm
looking at that
thank
other woman.
God.
She's looking at the other women, just go, oh, she's gonna. Yeah, she's like, it's just even the backs of their heads. It's just
Oh,
a guy
yeah.
and a girl, and she's like,
I for sure thought the guy was going to turn around and it was going to be Robert Mitchum's character.
right. But
Right.
she,
You don't
but
really
she's
see
like,
it.
her comment was, oh, you wait, in a few years, I'm gonna have another mouth to feed. Like she understands. I'd really love to. The informed way that the actress is approaching Mrs. Cooper, who I'm going to look up her name in a second, but I just want to make a point first, is that she's definitely giving herself a backstory more than we
yeah.
get to see in this movie, in as much as that she's like, no, I get it. Like I said, she's probably been there herself, probably couldn't have kids, and so she's like, I'll take you in. And it's like, but also it's like that element of, especially like think about the 50s and think about 2025,
Yeah.
to be honest, but the idea is like, no, it's okay for women to be empowered, and it's okay for women to be horny, and it's okay for women to want to fuck. And it's like, so yes, there's consequences. I will help these children.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's this element of, it's okay. Men want to fuck too. And I'm like, this is a 1955 movie.
And the movie's set in the 20s though, right? Is set
I don't
like,
know.
I think
didn't know about it.
I think it's definitely set. It's a
because
period
she
piece.
It's
mentioned
the older
like
the older
she-
cars and stuff
that-
like that.
Well, she mentions one of the characters mentions like the Great Depression was like
It's about to
4
say, yes,
years
it's during
ago,
it's
right?
during the Great Depression. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang.
So it makes that point even more like insane that she had this, that she was able to do all that.
Yeah.
Incredible backstory, and which you don't even really need. She's just a fucking badass woman.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's late. It's probably, if it's 4 years, the Great Depression started in 29, so it's probably in the 30s,
Okay.
set in the 1930s.
Yeah.
But yeah, her character was great, and
I was worried about her too. Like
Me
the
too!
second the priest rolls up, they have their fucking verbal judo together, where she's
and
like,
then she busts out a
she sees right through his bullshit immediately.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
busts out the shotgun, and I'm like, strong female character, all this kind of like this is where this movie. I was just eating it up. I was just like eating this shit up at that point. I'm just like,
Yeah, I was
You're
worried. I was
so-
like, because Robert
Yeah.
Mitchum's character, like I said before, loves killing women, and
You're right.
you know,
yeah,
the scenario will stop at nothing to get this
it's-
check
it's-
notes 10,000 pesos.
it's that moment when he did the. Oh, we'll talk about that. It's the because he's got love hate on his knuckles, and he does this. He's got this whole story, and the first time he does it, and we see him doing it. Mrs. Spoon from the original place is frothing,
Oh my God.
absolutely frothy at this Christian sort of like parable that he's telling. And she's like, oh, please eat my fudge. And like, we know what she means by fudge. And then he pulls this shit on Mrs. Cooper and she's like, but, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in like 3 seconds. And I was like,
It's such a relief. You're like, oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
this.
For a movie of this time period, yes, absolutely was not expecting her to have that much edge to her, which I loved.
Yeah. No, she
Yeah,
was
but,
fantastic.
Mate, fuck that. If it was a 2025 movie, we'd go, oh, thank God for the empowered female character.
Mhm.
It's incredible when I watch these movies how far I realize we haven't come.
Right.
And like, that you have these moments and it swings back and these moments and we swing back. This movie, release this movie right now. Woke.
That's probably
Yeah.
probably why
Anti-male,
that's why it
woke.
flopped.
Piece
Yeah.
of shit. But it's like, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is like what I'm saying is that like I was hinting at, like Ryan and I have always said that we kind of were born into movies in 1980. Granted, we watched some of the originals, but I'm starting to learn just how incredible some of the movies when it became talkies,
Yeah.
even just are. And now I'm like, man, I need to start watching some Buster Keaton and some
I was gonna
Charlie
say, I need
Chaplin.
to start getting you guys watch some like silent films. We got to get you
Yeah,
guys watching Wings.
We've seen so
we
many.
watched the Beaver one.
That's what I'm saying. We've seen so many movies inspired by, these classics. So even for me to go back, like I think we were talking about like Butch Cassidy, for example, going back, I'm like, oh, this was like the genesis for
Lethal
the
Weapon.
weapon and 48
Yeah.
hours, like all these like buddy cop things, or like
Is Wings the Howard Hughes one?
No, that's Hell's Angels.
Wings, the
Oh.
show on USA.
That's
The
the
Tony-
one with
Tony
Shalhoub.
Shalhoub?
Yeah. No, actually bringing it back to what you're saying, like inspiration, the love hate. If you remember, Do the Right Thing. That's what Spike's wearing is the brass knuckles with the love hate. That's from this. This is one of his favorite movies.
See, I liked Ryan's comment.
Spike from Sinners.
Yes, exactly.
Ryan was going straight for my wheelhouse when he goes, the only way this movie could have been better if it said Hold Fast,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is Master and Commander.
Just because I had just recently watched that 7 times.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I usually save this to the end, but this is what I'm supposed to do. Is if you're watching us right now and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you're listening to us right now and you haven't subscribed or rate us. That would really help us, by the way, because it worked last time because my nephew Bobby heard and he rated us. Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Bobby!
Now, Bobby, if you can get 9 of your other friends to do the same, then they
Do it,
can
Bobby.
get 9 of their friends.
Bobby, I just want to pre-apologize. I can only say your name like Robert De Niro does to Wesley Snipes in The Fan. Bobby!
Bobby.
So subscribe. Yeah, no, Master and Commander, greatest movie ever. Hold Fast, incredible. But yeah, this one is like. So, Will, you were saying you got this on the 4K. Is this going to go into? Is this going to be another feature? Actually, it was on your video today. You featured it on your TikTok today.
Yeah, it's a new thing I'm starting on my TikTok where I have 45 movies that I've never seen before in my collection. So if you go to my TikTok, I'm entitled Millennial on everything, on all the socials. Just comment, answer my movie question. Not everybody's following the instructions. I'll ask a movie question, answer it, and then leave a number 1 through 45. I'll let you guys know.
I'll tell you what. Honestly, I found it so relatable.
Yeah.
The best way to front load it. This is the internet. They need the instructions in the first 5 seconds. Go,
Yes.
guys, tell me a movie you love. Give me a number, and this is why. Because
Yes.
he did this. He's got 1,000 movies. He's got 45 he's never seen. And honestly, I was in. As soon as I even commented, I was telling you, this is my best movie memory ever, is taking my son to see the Goonies on the big screen
Yes.
and him loving it. But I love this idea because, well, I know I've got like 4 or 5 of my own that I go, why do I own these movies? And I've still never watched
I'm
them.
shocked you only have 45 movies you've never seen.
I honestly, when I started counting, I'm like, I think it's about 10, and then it kept going, and I was like, oh
Mm.
no. 'Cause I was like, well, I haven't watched Cloud Atlas because I'm gonna watch that with my buddy Jake one day, and then I just kept going and going. And so that's the game. So go to my TikTok, comment, answer the movie questions, and then I'll pick my favorite one, and that number
Is
will
the
be
question about the one of the
It's
it'll
movies
be just
random?
whatever question I think of that
Yeah,
day,
because
and
I
then
was ready for some like quiz, and then he goes, "What's your favorite movie experience?" And I was like, just immediately, I was like, it was so like, I
Ah,
was like, boom, I've got something for you. But it's like, it's one of those things. It's going back to just like what we said is that because you can love movies,
Mhm.
and then you can know movies that you know are important. And like you said, Ryan, you've got to be in the mood
yeah.
to watch a movie. And then you're sitting there staring at your wall of movies, and Will's like, well, I could watch this, or I could watch Master and Commander in
And then
4K.
I think a lot of it too is you never in that situation you never want to risk like pulling something out, being in the wrong mindset,
Yes.
and then not liking
And it not
that
working. You go,
movie. Yeah.
I've just fucked the
And you're
last
like, you
three
think
hours
that
and just,
movie sucks. Yeah.
yeah, and I've
Yeah.
just ruined my evening. And now I
Right.
need to watch a movie to fix it, and that's gonna be,
But conversely, you can be in a phenomenal mood and pick like a really bad movie, but have a great viewing
yeah,
experience, you know?
Yeah. So it's
that's,
it's gonna be interesting, especially when we get to the Toxic Avenger movies, because I am getting all four of those.
And the
Whoa.
cartoon,
And
right? There
the
was a
cartoon's the
cartoon.
one I've seen, yeah.
Right, yeah.
mate, I am,
So
I am honestly, completely removed from this. Like everyone's talking Toxic Avenger, and I know about it because of the Dink, and I know about it because of like everyone's talking about it. Guys, I've never seen a Toxic Avenger movie. I'd never heard of it until people started talking about it. You're making these comments now? Nothing.
I think I've only seen the
Is
very
this an
first one.
America thing? Do I not
I
know this because of the UK? But this is nothing. I've never heard anything, and I'm
I
relatively nerdy about movies.
I can't imagine the rest of the
It
world
was
would accept
post.
this.
It
I
was
think they would be like, you keep those movies to
it was
yourself.
post Swamp Thing, right? It was late
Uh
early '80s, right?
I think
Because
so.
it was a comic book, and then it was the film. Yeah,
I just know Lloyd Kaufman,
yeah.
James Gunn's mentor, who was in Slither, for that one scene.
Oof.
This is his Trauma Pictures.
Right.
They're just known as like trash movies, but kind
Mhm.
of almost intentionally, like, you
The
know,
only thing I remember from the first movie, because I think my experience was watching the very first one, probably on cable with commercials, so it was heavily edited.
yeah,
And then finally seeing it years later on in HBO, whatever. But I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a scene because he works at a dry cleaner, but I remember him like,
he's a janitor. Yeah,
oh, okay, that's right, that's right. But he goes into a dry cleaner where he crushes an old lady into like a steaming machine,
yeah.
in a steam press, and I was like, that changed my life. Here I am, three Terrifiers later.
I saw the first one again like 20 years ago. I don't remember it really. I remember a couple of things like that. And then I the fourth one I only really know the intro as Stan Lee doing the intro to it, where he's apologizing for the third movie, where he's like, he goes, listen, we got all your letters after we made the third one, and we apologize for that. We promise this movie is going to be better.
Excelsior.
Excelsior, because him and Lloyd Kaufman were like best friends. Like they hung out all the time.
I love that era though, where they would take these like R-rated films and just like, how can we make this for kids? Let's turn it into a
Yes.
cartoon and make toys. I had
Yeah.
the toys. I had the Toxic
Me,
Avenger
I
toys.
used
Oh
to,
yeah.
I watched the RoboCop
The RoboCop,
animated.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I used to, like, it's different, but I remember like there was a time because it was the Bill and Ted animated show. I
Yeah.
watched the Back to the Future animated show.
Hmm.
I watched, oh man,
Beetlejuice was another one.
I watched that one
Beetlejuice
too.
was huge.
What a time to be a kid,
Yeah.
man.
That was when
Yeah.
animation was like really good too. Like,
Yeah, it was. It
I mean,
was.
I made the joke recently that I'm like, God, if this were the '90s, we would have a Sinners animated series with like action figures and like
a
think
Sinners
how
video game, yeah.
God,
Yeah,
how
you could have an
awesome would
action
that be?
figure like press the button to put spit into the other guy's mouth. It's
Like
like,
Haley
Oh
Steinfeld
God.
yeah,
spinning
exactly.
function.
It's like-
Pre-order, pre-order, pre-order.
Oh man, I say yeah. I'm honestly because I've been hearing people talking about Toxic Avengers, so I'm like, you know what? I know that people are into it, and I love the Dink. Dinklage is
Yeah.
like I can't get enough of the guy.
And it looks like that kind of street trash,
Yeah.
the movie type of like violence, or like Hobo with a Shotgun, or I just watched Jason Eisner's film Kids versus Aliens, which was super fun. But
Mhm.
like I love that type of schlocky, heavily 80s inspired gore and violence, like just so over the
Yeah.
top and ridiculous. But
So, yeah, no, so Toxic Avenger. What movie were we talking about
We were
beforehand?
talking about Night of the Hunter, but we got
Oh,
you
right, and their
know,
action figures, which weren't as good.
but the cartoon was great.
Yeah, the Night of the Hunter animated series. Every
That's
week, a
a
new location.
so so the question is though, last time around though, we had a champion that was, I think it was my pick actually, a movie I've always like. First time I saw it, I think I was in Hong Kong when I saw it,
Bubble
but
Boy, yeah.
That's right, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake
It's a deep cut.
Gyllenhaal,
A deep
Bubble
cut.
Boy himself, with October Sky, which is
Yeah.
the true story of what's his name, John Hickam, Homer Hickam, or something like that. But he basically, these guys that ended up working for NASA, or at least one of them, that they were just these West Virginia sort of like coal country guys that were just fascinated by the idea of rockets in the time of Sputnik. A fantastic movie. Honestly, I love
Yeah.
it. Chris Cooper, great movie, just a biographical 1999 movie.
Chris Cooper
Um,
not playing a terrible villain, crazy.
Yeah,
but like
straight.
playing a sort of like salt of the earth guy.
Still a bit of a dick. Yeah.
But we've got these sort of two movies that, Night of the Hunter, granted, shot in 55, and like I said, we were getting some pretty kind of dope helicopter shots, but clearly, a lot of it being shot on
I
backlots, but it's
like
55.
you mentioned that helicopter shot. You could see how like warbly it was
Yes,
because
that's what I mean. Is it's a
yeah.
helicopter, and it's like
Yeah.
you can't stabilize the film.
It's like they
and-
went from using hot air balloons to they just got helicopters, and I was like, well, we haven't figured out what stabilizers are
yeah,
yet.
they can't use a Zeppelin because everyone's going to still shoot at it because they've got the
Charles Gimbal hadn't invented the
So we got, but I will say, like, the Night of the Hunter sort of vibe of like, okay, it's West Virginia, and you've got kind of they have the sort of the dirt road, the next to the river kind of vibe. You didn't have any of the coal mining, but we haven't really got to that sort of level of
right.
sort of industrialization yet. People are, and my whole thing was people are too clean, that kind of element. But again, we're making movies, and then you got Dark Waters, which is a straight up true story cut to the quick of like state, like West Virginia based company, city run by company, true story of what happened in this state. And I think it's kind of like an interesting
Yeah.
about
Well,
this.
one is like a fucking massive stain on West Virginia.
Mhm.
Dark Waters, obviously, just to clarify. 'Cause I wasn't
October
going to do my
Sky.
usual bit. No. Like that, I would be remiss to think, like, being from there, I'm like, I wouldn't want to remember this as like my West Virginia movie, as true as it is.
Mhm.
And I really didn't get like a. It's funny you say, like, I didn't quite get a West Virginia feel from Night of the Hunter. Like that could have
Yeah.
been
Well,
any
so it was
southernish.
so hang on. So Night of the Hunter, Hollywood Sound Stages, so Mitchum wanted to do Appalachian, director didn't have the budget for it. Used the soundstage, found a little bit they were looking for in the Republic Studios, San Fernando Valley, as always, as we've been like, so many movies that we've had. Certain cutaway shots, like the helicopters, certain compositing shots and stuff like that for the backgrounds were shot in West Virginia. Some river scenes, things like that.
But I guess what I'm saying, like like the state didn't feel like a character in the movie necessarily to me.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it felt very West Virginia to me. It kind of could have been,
Could have been Georgia or
Mississippi.
yeah,
It
like
Could
could
have been
be,
Tennessee, could have been, yeah, I know, exactly.
yeah.
Because there was nothing like overly specific about it.
no license
Where,
plates. Yeah.
yeah, not a single license plate on any of those Model Ts. Um, you know, but Dark Waters, it's almost like a crazy amount of specificity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is the thing about it. And I think the way I'm seeing it is something that Adam Tinius did with us when we were on the Texas episode, where we loved Action USA. I mean, you can't get away from it. Absolute banger. but he's like, but, and it's like, but I don't feel like it loves the state.
Mm,
And the
Right.
thing about Dark Waters is we're telling a really dark story. It's not a story
no.
that West Virginia wants to talk about. Whereas October Sky is these people, is this salt and coal of the earth people,
Nice.
is an inspiring story,
Yeah, there's
is a
hope. There's
true
hope
story.
there, and there. I mean,
And it,
there's hope in Dark Waters too. But still, like, if I go purely based on feeling like I normally do, I I would end up rewatching and telling more people about October Sky, even though chances are they've already seen it.
yeah,
I,
I would say we'll go for it.
yeah, I don't know if I'd watch October Sky. For me, it's kind of a forgettable movie, but
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying desperately now to remember anything from that movie. And
Remember
it's
Laura
not.
Dern shoots the rocket out of the sky with her laser beams from the hospital?
That's right. Honestly, I
That's
was
exactly
thinking.
right. Yeah.
Honestly, I was
It's the only thing
thinking
I
there
remember.
that I was like, wasn't Helen Hunt the one in that movie? Until you said
Yeah.
Laura Dern, I'm like, oh, that's
Laura
right.
Wild guess,
Dern.
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, you crushed it.
but yeah. So, but at the end of the day, that really said to me, like, whatever I remember, is very, very West Virginia. And I
Oh,
just, at the end of the day, I don't think Dark Water,
I
because a
will
lot of it
say,
takes place in the law offices of
yeah,
wherever, because
Cincinnati.
it's not in the state, it's
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Where the
So
devil's backbone is, remember?
yes, that's right.
yeah, the
Roller,
guys were
So
like they were
roller,
rollerblading in the background.
rollerblading capital of the
that's
world.
right. So so yeah, I think at the end of the day, like it feels more like October Sky.
I will say this, now you're making me think of it. In Dark Waters, a lot of that was in the 90s. So, in theory, you could have Snake and Augie and,
Oh my God.
and,
Just in the
and
background, just
Mitchell and Wiley and all those kooky characters. What were we talking about? I know I did have a point for like for Dark Waters. Like I think it's a much better film for like
yeah.
just overall. I think it is just a stronger film. But it just made me feel terrible. But I will like as the kids say, I was locked the fuck in watching it. Like I was. But once I stopped
Yeah.
taking notes, I was like, oh man, where is this going? I was super engaged. Whereas October
Yeah,
Sky, like maybe it felt a little too Disney for me, but I think it's just the more positive outcome of that for a West Virginia movie.
yeah. No, I'm gonna go with that one. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think it because it does. It looks, it is, it feels, it cold, it's true. It's everything else about it is real West Virginia. So like in this particular case, while we loved these two movies, these are movies. Bish bash bosh, bang them on your list. Watch them. Dark Waters, watch it. Night of the Hunter. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna really learn things. You're gonna expand the way that you look at movies. You're gonna see some great performances. You're not gonna waste any time on either of these movies from this week. But when it comes down to it, neither of them are really getting into the West Virginia of it as much as we are with October Sky. So for now,
Mhm.
here on the show, our champion still for West Virginia until we come around another time.
Until Dark Water 2.
Until Dark Waters apostrophe S, is still October Sky, a great movie that tells a very, very true and fascinating story that I do actually love more than Will does. But that being said, there are still a bunch of movies we could have picked. Like we bounced around a few of them.
Yeah.
Last time that we had Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which honestly I could have watched 10,000 times
Yep.
more. But there's other movies like one you guys were circling, and I was like, guys, it's a football movie.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is
Madawan, the James Earl Jones. Oh no, no. We Are Marshall. That's
We
right.
Are
Yeah.
Marshall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is one that like okay, it's again true story, and it's like all right, well, like guys, we've touched on football movies. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Madawan, yeah, was one that we
Yeah.
were saying, the James L. Jones. I think that's based off of true stories as well.
Yeah.
There's honestly one I'm tempted by, Tony Scott's last movie, Unstoppable, the train movie.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's like one of his best, I swear.
We had Patch Adams was another one I think Will had
Yep.
mentioned.
Yeah, that it came up. Ernest Defense Teflon, that was another one. That
Didn't you say like all of the Wrong Turn movies are set?
oh yeah. I looked up like all 12 Wrong Turn movies.
We
or
had a
something.
long conversation about which one Sean Bean is in, but that turned out to be the Hitcher, maybe. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It touched on Silence of the Lambs, the Mothman prophecies. I remember another one. So
Oh yes.
we've got like a bunch. We have a bunch of movies that we can come back to. I think like Madawan looks pretty strong. We Are Marshall. I can see it. Like I said, it's a pretty defining story of the state. So maybe next time around we can find one to really, really compete with October Sky. Now, the thing is, where are we going next week, guys? Was it Missouri?
Missouri.
Yes.
Missouri. I tell you what, right before, so I was a little late logging on to record. The guys have been talking, and I'm excited. I'm excited because you picked an absolute American classic and an absolute American classic, and both for equally different reasons. Ryan, you pick one, but I'm like, go for it. Tell him where we're going.
We're gonna do a classic Clint Eastwood Western that I think Ollie and I haven't seen. The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah, the Outlaw Josie Wales,
Wales.
1976. The only thing I know about this movie is the original director basically dropped out right at the beginning, and Clint Eastwood took over. This is where Clint Eastwood started as a director. We have had Unforgiven on the show, which is probably his ultimate, his greatest.
And In the Line of Fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
He
but
didn't direct that
Wolfgang
one.
Peterson did that one.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he
So-
was in it.
Yeah, you're right. But no, yeah, is the directing side of Clint Eastwood, which went on as a career that is still going.
Juror number 2. Let's go.
2025. The Outlaw Josie Wales. It has incredible reviews. I have heard it is an absolute banger. I've never seen it. Super excited to watch this one. I'm on our non-sponsor sponsor who will one day be a sponsor. Just watch one day. It's available to rent in plenty of places. You can probably find it. It's not available streaming for free anywhere. I would say do us a favor, double check YouTube. You'd be surprised what you can find. And then Will, what is the other movie that we're doing? I'm so excited to watch this again.
I can't believe we didn't pick this the first time. We're going to a place where every night they got to sweep eyeballs off the floor. We're going to the Roadhouse, baby.
We're going to Roadhouse 1989. Oh, Patrick Swayze. We're going to kick people in the face. We're going to rip out throats, and girls are going to get naked because why? Why?
We're going to see some Sam Elliott pubes. We're going to learn some Tai Chi. It's going to be great.
I always think of the scene in MacGruber because his whole thing was like
Yes.
ripping throats. But Ryan Phillippe looks at him and goes, "You really want that throat ripped, don't you?" The turkey's like 4 throat rips as a turkey. It's like an old bowling term. It's fucking amazing.
So we're doing it.
Can't
Next
wait.
time, guys, we're going to watch absolute banger 80s movie Roadhouse. We're going to watch classic Western, The Outlaw Josie Wales, which are going up against Welcome? Was it to Guffman? Waiting.
Yes, welcome to Guffman.
Welcome to Guffman.
Waiting for Guffman, which scared the crap out of me because I could have told you we did this 4 months ago. In fact, it seems we did it a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Good Lord, guys, what is happening? But yes, waiting for Guffman.
That's just the bird flu talking.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be absolutely fantastic. So, guys, check it out. Like I said, go to Just Watch, see if you can find it. If you don't find it, go to your local library and rent it. Or just go to Will's house, knock on the door, and ask to borrow the 4K. I'm sure he's got it.
They're both back there, yeah.
I'm not surprised. Don't forget, you can always find Will as entitled millennial, like he was saying, especially now that he's going to start digging into the movies he's never talked about, and as well as he's got 1,000 movies that he wants to introduce you to, and you should check it out. It's really fun. You can find me as That Englishman in Texas or Ollie Pettigrew on Facebook, where I'm always talking Texas, or you can also find me talking about movies at least one time a week, which I love. love it. You can find Ryan as Rhino Digital, RYNO Digital, for his great poster designs and other things that we design from the show. Check us out on our Facebook page, The United States of a Movie, and drop a comment or follow or rate on our YouTube, on our Spotify, on our Apple, or make it a mission today to find another friend that loves movies and recommend us as well. This was a great week, guys. Had a great time. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
Gonna be a banger.
Watch these movies right now.
Tell me about it. So from Ryan, from Will, and from me, thanks as always for joining us for this episode of the United States of a Movie podcast. We'll see you next time.
Roadhouse.
Nailed it.